The time has come for people to demand truth, to look into the eyes of fear and say, no, I don't believe this.
What is happening? Something is going on. Can you feel the way?
Hi, welcome to Spiral Into It. I'm Fisk Smith. In this episode, we are going to show interviews with speakers who presented at the 9/11 inquiry in San Francisco at the Herbst Theater on March 26th through March 28th, 2004.
Because when you start putting the big picture together, things fall into place, and I think maybe you do get a little bit better viewpoint on what's going on than people who are so specialized in looking into just one particular facet. The pattern goes far back beyond 1947. It goes back to the formation of the Council on Foreign Relations and the sister organization, Royal Institute of International Affairs, which was right after World War I. It was about 1921 and actually goes back into the 1800s. There has been an ongoing program among the wealthy elite who are pushing for a program that they themselves refer to as globalism, which is one world government, one world military, one world economic structure. And this has been pushed along all through the 20th century. And what we're seeing now is simply an extension of that. I'll make a prediction right now that if Bush is not elected in 2004, whoever we get in his place will continue the push towards internationalism, towards globalism. They operate very much on the Hegelian dialectic, which is problem, reaction, solution. We saw this evidenced in the Murrah Federal Building bombing in Oklahoma City. They had anti-terrorism legislation in Congress at that point that was civil libertarians were crying was going to shred the Constitution, and as a result it was stalling. But then the federal building blew up, and in the attendant publicity they rushed this anti-terrorism through. It wasn't as draconian as they had originally proposed, but it nevertheless put us forward. With the attacks of 9/11, of course, it moved even further still. We now have the Patriot Act, Homeland Security, and no matter who replaces the Bush administration, those are still going to be with us for the foreseeable future. This is an agenda that's been long time planning, long time is the work. The day after 9/11, on September the 12th, 2001, I posted a piece on my website, Maars.com. And I said, I agree with President Bush that we must find the perpetrators of this tragedy and we must prosecute them, unmercifully. I said, but let's don't go off half-cocked, because I'd lived through the Kennedy assassination and Vietnam and Watergate, and it's just, the American public seems to whipsaw, back and forth. They go here, know this, know that. Let's simmer down, let's get calm, cool, and collected, and let's find out who's truly behind this attack and what's really going on. Well, within a little more than a month, I had assembled enough information that was just available off of credible major sources in the news media and on the internet to show that the whole war on terrorism is pretty much phony, that this was plans that had been laid far in advance. You can go back to the Reagan administration, and you can find that Oliver North, others, while George Bush Sr. was vice president, had advanced plans to suspend the Constitution and to put this country into essentially a state of martial law. These plans are already there. We find that in the first Bush administration, they had plans for invading Afghanistan, for knocking off Saddam Hussein. These are still articulated by the Project for the New American Century. These are people who, during the Clinton years, were laughed off as hard right hawks, and yet once they got in power, their agenda began to unfold. And of course, the whole impetus for this was 9/11.